Hey, White Rook 85. I'm on the road, heading up into the town called Breezewood, Pennsylvania. I'm not sure if everyone knows of Breezewood. There was a big stop back in the 50s and 60s when America hit the road kind of and got into that everybody has a car, take a vacation kind of thing. Breezewood was one of those spots that if you were traveling through PA, was one of those places you stop. Well, I'm on my way to the cabin. As you can see in the back, boy, there's a lot of stuff back there. I must be planning on staying about 3 weeks. Well, actually not. I'm only going to stay a couple days or so. But I'm making a side trip to Michigan to see my daughter and grandkids. Have a lot of good stuff for them in the back, all filled up with some goodies. And I'm sure they're going to be excited to see some of the stuff there. You know how kids are. Always likes when the grandparents show up with some presents. You know, I'm sure I'll be the hit for a day or so. But I'm going to go there, and then on the way back, I'll go ahead and instead of coming back through Maryland and going into Delaware, I'll go into PA and then go to the cabin, like I said, for a couple days. Just have a few things to do. We'll pick back up when heading to the cabin, and gonna have a little bit of fun there, and hopefully set us up for the fall and winter as far as wood goes. That's on my agenda to do. So let's keep driving on. It's 7:30 in the morning. Been driving for about 3 hours now, and probably got about another 6 to go, 7 to go, 8 to go. Let's keep moving on. Well, back on the road after a nice visit with my daughter and grandkids. Got to see them. They sure are growing. Got to do things that grandparents really enjoy. Spend time with them and listen to their stories and what's going on in their lives. Having a catch with your grandson, or talking about spells and potions. Very big Harry Potter fan. Or my other granddaughter, we get to talk about some things and read some stories. And my youngest grandson is he warmed up to me after a day or two. It took a little bit, you know how kids are, but he is growing so fast, and he can really hold a conversation well. He's really doing good for his age. Had a great time with my daughter. It reminds me a lot of my mom, which lost way too early in life. She really does. She really reminds me. She kind of looks like her a little bit. Loves to cook, and we had some great meals. Really great time out there. Really enjoyed myself. Getting down the road now. We're going to go, first stop, we're going to actually stop at St. Mary's, Pennsylvania for some Straub's beer. I was told by more than a few, I think, what was it, Jackson, Tim, Dan, Kelsey, to get some Straub's beer. So I'm going to stop at the brewery and get some beer. Probably going to get a few different kinds, and that's going to be our stop for right now. We're just going to be on the Ohio Turnpike for a while, and then Route 80 in Pennsylvania, and then get off and then get up through the mountains and get into St. Mary's. Just about there. Going to pull up to the brewery, get a few things, and then move on to the cabin. Hey, how you doing today? Here, I'll put this one.
You?
We get a 15 pack of the lager.
Cold or warm?
Warm, please.
Warm?
Yeah. Take the Oktoberfest, have 2 6s of that, and then the your hop blaster. We'll take a case of that.
Which one? Local or regular?
Regular. There you go. Hey, thanks. I'm good.
Have a great one.
Yeah, you too. All right, that is it. You can see the brewery over there. 1872. And I think I'll just stop in and get some ice at maybe Sheets. I'm gonna be in St. Mary's for a little while because St. Mary's, believe it or not, is the second largest city in Pennsylvania, past Philadelphia. You would think Pittsburgh or Harrisburg or Scranton, Wilkes-Barre would be up there, but St. Mary's, second largest city, and that was really due to incorporating a lot of the suburban areas around it, and it's the second largest city by landmass, not population, of course. Its population is sparse compared to all the other cities, but second largest in landmass, which is kind of interesting. So I should be in it for a little bit, and says it's going to take me about a couple hours to get to the cabin. I thought it was a little bit closer, but I think it's just due to the speed of the roads and not being on the highway any longer, and things like that, tractor trailer slowing things down. Oh my gosh. Hey, just arrived. Yeah, it was a bit of a ride, but not too bad. Traffic really wasn't too bad today. So I'm here at the cabin for just actually like a day and a half or so. Today, tomorrow, and I'll probably leave Friday. I'm not sure what time Friday yet. But here to do a few things, and as I mentioned earlier, getting the wood is the biggest thing. So I'm going to get unpacked, and I'm going to get some dinner going, because I'll tell you, I am a little bit on the hungry side. So I got some good, I got a good steak tonight, some beans and a salad, and we're going to be cooking that up. Let me go ahead and get some of this stuff out of the car. I don't have much at all. Let me get the cabin opened up and air it out a little bit. Well, doesn't feel too bad in here at all. Not bad at all. Got my screwdriver so I can fix one of those chairs out there. A nice fresh gallon of water to drink. Got some other water in here, but not like having a fresh one that hasn't been sitting around for a while. I just brought the beer in so it wouldn't be outside in case it gets warm tomorrow. I'll go ahead and make a couple phone calls and then get on to dinner because I am hungry. Tonight is a Wagyu beef ribeye steak. I got this at Walmart, but it is Wagyu, and I'll get a piece when it's in the plate there. But Wagyu, the cow itself has a gene that actually makes it a little bit more fatty. You can see all kinds of marbling in there, and even marble within the marble within the marble. Some buffalo beans. These are bucking buffalo beans. Never had these before. I think I got these at Aldi. It's basically baked beans that have the buffalo sauce on them. So I'm gonna go with a nice salad. Marbling on that really nice piece of Wagyu there. And I think I'll use some savory smokehouse seasoning on it. I'm going to try to drown it out too much. Really want to see what that beef's going to be like. Should be tender as anything. You can see the other side. just as marbled. Pretty good. No grill marks because of the tin foil, but the new grill is on the list for next year. Any of you grill companies out there want to sponsor a new grill for Camp Goat Time, certainly contact me. It's going to be on the list, and you know how often that grill gets on in our videos. Every time, multiple times. So there's a grill manufacturer out there. We talk. We definitely talk. But for now, on with the cooking. Had the Straub on ice for a couple hours. Gonna go with the lager. Oh, what a sound. Wow, that is some fresh beer right there, right from the distributor. And that is tasting very good for a lager. Really blows the, I guess what you want to call it, domestic lagers away for how fresh and clean it is. Absolutely wonderful. Well, guys, I appreciate the heads up for the Straub, and I think I might be able to pick it up around here because I'm really not that far from St. Mary's, so I may have to get some here when I come up sometime. Probably won't be as fresh as the brewery, but it was about 2 hours to drive from there to here. So a little bit too far to go for beer when I come up, but you can just taste the freshness in that, and I appreciate the tip on picking it up at the brewery. Well, picked up a little fire log. I'd seen these in Lowe's for a while and wanted to see how they did. Since I'm getting some more firewood tomorrow, I think we're plumb out except for what we cut over there. Oh, I'm going to see how this does. Supposed to give me a couple hour burn. Yeah, even if it gives me an hour, I'm good. Probably going after that. Watch Forged in Fire. You've heard me mention Forged in Fire before. Good show. Enjoy it. I think this is a two-parter, so there's a couple hours to watch. We're probably an hour and a half of commercials. Hey, it looks like it's kicking off. Doing pretty good. Interesting, a little expensive. Don't know if I'd do this again, but just to see if it worked and just have a little bit of fun. The Straub's IPA. This is the what's this called again? Oh, Hop Blaster IPA. Figured I'd give that a go. The lager was super with that steak. That steak was unbelievably tender, very flavorful. I didn't overpower it with seasoning, but it was great. And again, the Straub's great. That lager was. It actually really tasted to me like it was fresh out of the tap, really. Also very good. That is a good IPA there too. First sip. Straight out of the can. Very good. But it's been a pretty good summer. You saw the last video with us getting our propane installed. So now we're next step, get enough firewood for the year. Didn't quite have the manpower and everything this year to do what we want to do. We did get the chainsaw. I know that's a light one. It could do some of the smaller trees. Eric brought his up. I know we could knock a couple trees out in no time. But just because of as my grandson calls it, COVID world. We really couldn't get together, so I decided to go ahead and get this cord of firewood delivered tomorrow. And, hopefully I'll hear from the guy about 1 o'clock that he's ready to meet me, so I can get him through the gate and put it up, and I can get most of it stacked by tomorrow night. Now that's doing pretty good. Impressive so far. Hopefully it just doesn't envelop itself and then kind of burn too fast, but that's it's kind of nice. It's sort of giving a black soot off, which is, I didn't think it would, but that's probably that fire stick that's burning in there. So we got the gas, we're getting the wood. Besides that, it's been fairly quiet. You know, I know Sean took a nice vacation out west. I'm sure you saw that video, the California, Oregon trip. I don't know if he made it to Washington, I can't remember, but that looked like a nice trip for him. I know the chairman has gotten to the beach a lot, and I know Cook has gone down there also. Good old Eric has, sometimes we hear from him, sometimes we don't. I'm sure he's having a great summer, and then visiting his girlfriend and family also. Oh, yeah, besides that, maybe you saw the Jeep t-shirt when I was lighting a fire, or before when I was messing around. Traded in the 2011 Grand Cherokee at 118,000 pretty trouble-free miles. I think I had a CO2 sensor go on it once, but I think that was about the only issue I had. One set of brakes in all that amount of time, and 2 sets of tires. It was a good running machine. But I traded in on this 2020 Cherokee, not a Grand Cherokee, but a Cherokee. This is the Latitude Plus with the Altitude package, all blacked out, black on black on black. And of course you can see my wife standing next to it. That is her vehicle. I'm glad to get her something nice and reliable that I don't have to worry about. Now, I didn't have to worry about the other one, but this gives me a little bit more peace of mind that everything's going to be okay and won't have any mechanical issues or anything like that when she's out driving it. Besides that, you know, a little bit of lawn cutting. Had some problems with my electric tractor, had a battery go on it, so I decided to sell that and go back to push mowing, and hopefully that can help me work a couple of these pounds off from pushing that mower around the yard. I think it will. And it's kind of nice to get back there, push mower again, and kind of get into that Zen mode when you're cutting and just thinking and hear the engine going and everything like that. So it's kind of a nice experience when you're out there cutting the grass, even when it's been 90 degrees and the 90% humidity. It's still been okay. You just get in that zone and thought zone and really think about things. I received a nice gift in the mail. This is like one of those shadow boxes from Jack, who has a cabin up in Pike County. Very nice gentleman. We've corresponded a few times, and he's had a show up there and does a lot for the sportsmen up there in Pike County. But these are some antique licenses from my birthday, or my birth date, the year, and senior's year together, and the fishing buttons from way back in the day. These babies are a little on the old side. So I'm going to put this up in my pod there, and Jack collects these old licenses. Again, these are from the 40s and 50s from Senior and I. And if you do have any old licenses, like way back, probably 50s and below, you want to contact me, I can get you in touch with Jack, and maybe you can see if you want to sell him your license, or if he wants to purchase it if he doesn't have it. Bear tags, especially, he's looking for. Got an resident hunter, antlerless, a resident hunter there, and like I said, the 2 fish tags, buttons. So again, if you have those, or if you're interested in buying them, get in touch with me, and I'll get you in touch with Jack, and you'll see, you know, you two can get together and see if you want to make some kind of transaction. And Jack, I really appreciate that. That's going to go in my spot in the cabin there in my pod, and I'm going to get this picture of Senior and I blown up and put next to it, probably in maybe a 5x7 or something like that. This was a great time that we had up in Black Shannon State Forest, Center County. But that was an unusual day for me and us. Usually the spot that we had was kind of a triangle in between some roads. We get guys going in on the other sides of the roads, and it always seems like deer was getting pushed to us from one direction to the other all day long. But we went to set up one time, and we saw a couple of tree stands set up. I guess the what do they call those? The tripod type stands set up in our area. But we kind of liked it, so we got a little bit away from them. Yeah, it was about 12 o'clock or so, opening day, and I heard a shot behind me. I was eating a Pop-Tart. I can remember that vividly. I was eating a Pop-Tart, heard a shot from the guy in the tripod stand, and I could see this deer running, and I just put the Pop-Tart down, grabbed the rifle, spun around, and immediately fired, and the deer went right down. And it was probably the best shot, natural instinct shot that I had. It was very just fluid, and it just all seemed to come together. And I quickly got down out of the stand and went over, and by that time, the two guys from another stand and him were over, and they were kind of like getting their knives out, and it was like, wait a second, fellas, I don't think he got that deer. We looked, he had hit it in the leg below the shoulder, so it did not enter the body cavity, and that deer just would have went forever. That just would have ended up being a wounded deer. Well, I put it down and said, hey, that, you know, you can see where I hit, and that's mine. And they agreed, and moved on. So here's some pictures of me hauling it out. I knew they were still around up there, so I had my stand and the deer and my rifle, and hauled it all out at once. That was a pack out for sure. But that was certainly a good day. There was three of us. I mentioned Jim before. Jim was with us, and Senior, and Jim got a buck that day, and Senior had shot at one, did not think he got it, and we ended up finding it the next day. So it was like one of those 90s 3 for 3, and they weren't big deer, but they were deer, and we appreciated it, and we had a great time. And it's a story that I'm still telling, you know, 25 years, 30 years later, about the great time that I had, and the shot and everything like that. So I know Pennsylvania has the limited antler restrictions and everything, but even when there wasn't, we had great time. So I think I'm gonna fire myself up a Sweet Jane from Deadwood Estates, and again, I've kind of been into these recently. And go ahead and get this going and just sit out here for a little bit. See if a mosquito is biting me or not. Nice red flame here. So I'll sit here with this cigar. This is doing fairly well here. Kind of nice controlled fire. Again, it'd be nice if it didn't have the black smoke, but it could be keeping the mosquitoes away. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it down for the night, and I'll have this and the beer, another beer or two, and watch Forged in Fire, and we'll get up tomorrow. I have a few things to do. That propane line, one thing to do with the wall plate in there that we have the light switch on, and I'm going to see about this chair right over here. I'm going to do a little bit of repair to it, and then I have a nice hunter green that I'm going to paint this one in, and then we'll see if the guys call me about the wood. So it should be a busy day tomorrow. Lots of fun. It should go quick, and we'll see you in the morning. Well, morning. Got some, just made some coffee over there. Got some water heating up for some oatmeal. And pretty good night last night. Good sleeping. Had a rainstorm come in about 2:30. But I think it's gone out. And we should have an okay day from the way the radar looks. They are saying 70% chance of storms. So for now, as my water's heating up over there, switches that we put in for the lights and down Hobby Lobby the other day. So I have a nice, what should be a nice replacement. It's the, you know, like deer antler type, like a tree bark style. I'll get that done, and then I got that propane hose to try to make sure that fits correctly and works. I'll finish that up real quick. That looks a lot better, a lot more cabin-like than the just regular switch plate. Well, one down, couple to go. Wasn't as tiring as changing that light bulb the last trip, but yeah, that's how it goes. Line connected up to the stove now. Now go ahead and pull out that tank out of here, get that out of here. But that is set. What I have to do now is actually check, make sure there's no leaks, turn the propane on, get a little soap and put it on our connections, make sure we don't have any issues. Go ahead and do that now, but looks like if all goes well, this should be about done. We'll see if we get any propane out of there in a few minutes. We'll go ahead out to our tank here. The old propane. Gonna turn it on. First thing I'm gonna do though, I'm gonna turn our propane on. Let me get this all cleaned up right here. Got a sticker here. This is Niles. For those of you who are familiar with Birdshot 4's channel, he does some great videos on knives, and you know, really put some time and effort into them. Him and his wife Frankie really do a great job. I sent away for the sticker, and I'm going to put it right here on our tank. It's going to hopefully remind us that we got to turn this tank on and turn it off every time we're leaving here. It's the more to make sure that we turn it off. So I'm going to put him right here on our tank, and he's going to remind us. All right. All right, there's Niles reminding us you got to turn that tank off before you leave. And up here, let's go ahead and turn her on. Well, I connected everything up, and unfortunately I'm only getting a very small flame out of the camp stove. So I sent the company a message about maybe getting somebody up here and getting this fixed. Really should have been done right the first time. I told them a few times I have a camp stove, not an oven. So I'm waiting for him to reply. I think I'm just going to leave it connected for now, and then I think I'm going to go out and work on the chair, fix that thing up. A little bit discouraged from that. I was hoping that it would just work perfectly. We'd be set. I get that propane tank out of here every time something happens like this. It just irks me to no end. But whatever. We'll move on, and we'll see how we're doing on that chair out there. That was one of my goals this year, to get all 4 of those chairs painted. 2 down. Let's see if I get another one done. In this week's episode of How the Paint Dries, chair number 3. I just tightened them up, screws tightened, put one extra supporting board back there, and have this nice hunter green that's going to go on it. So we shall see what happens. It's pretty weather beaten, but this dark color should cover all that. Well, there it is. Chair number 3 painted up. Go along with chair number 2. Still have to do that one. I have the paint at home. I just didn't bring it with me. Just wanted to do one this time. And my chair from the old house from 50 years ago. Oh, they're looking pretty good. This hunter green I think matches nicely with what we got. And I like doing this because it preserves something that Senior did. And when he was putting these chairs together, he was sick at the time, but he still went through it and did it. And it feels good for me to preserve these for a few more years, just to keep his memory alive. And I certainly enjoyed doing that. So here they are. And while I was doing that, I did get a call from the propane guys. They said we can't hook that stove up to the main tank. He said it's just it's a pressure situation and you're not supposed to do that. It's illegal or something like that. So I thought we had that straightened out. I thought it was cleared up what I was putting in, and the installer knew it and just said he didn't have the right parts. But when I mentioned that, they said, well, he didn't realize. You know, it's just one of them things. I'll just take apart the stuff that I did and hook it back up to the other tank, and then I got to talk to the guys to see if they're interested in getting some type of apartment stove. They said the apartment stoves would work fine there, but I'm not sure if they want to go that far or not. We can see. That might be something good to have if we can reconfigure that table with that in there. Maybe it would work. So it's just something I'm going to have to talk to the guys about. A little disappointing, but I guess I didn't define all my requirements before we went to put that in. But the main thing is the propane is there, the heater is there. That's going to work, and that's our biggest thing. So that is done. And again, chairs are done. Now I'm waiting for the call from the guy about the wood, and in the meantime I'm going to go put that propane back the way it was. Well, I was sitting around the campfire last night, and while I was in the cabin, could start to hear some acorns drop. As you can see, some nice ones. This makes a difference for us up here when we have a lot of acorns, because when the ag fields are done down the bottom, they start coming up here to grab all these good acorns. So it's August 27th right now, and hopefully the acorns will continue to drop through September, beginning of October, and even longer. And they'll be up here hunting for these acorns, because we have thousands of oak trees on our property. It sounds like an exaggeration, but it's really not. There's predominantly oaks up here, and then with some ash that if the ash borers haven't got to them yet, some maple, and some beech trees. So looking forward to a good season, and finding acorns in August is always a good sign. I'll leave those over there for chipmunk, squirrel, or when I'm gone, if a deer will come by and get it. I got a text from my guy with the wood. He's loading up now. He's going to give me a call when he leaves, and then I will go meet him. So that's our next thing on the agenda. Well, just got the call. The guy's heading this way with the wood. I'm going to go down the bottom of the mountain and meet him down there so I can get him up through the gate. So let's head on down. Oh boy, this feels good. After the propane disappointment, this gets me back up again. Let's get in. There, we'll bring it up and then go back. Oh boy, we got great looking wood. I think it should be enough for this year, definitely. I've got the inside loaded, well, almost loaded, and I'll go ahead and start stacking this up and putting it in the rack in there, and then the rest I'll put in the front. I don't think we're going to have an issue this year with gas station wood or anything like that. We have some splitting to do, but who doesn't love a little Camp Cook axe wielding session? Always fun. And then Eric will get in there and whack the heck out of it. Mike is always good for a good round or two. I'm going to start stacking this up and move on to dinner. I might have a snack first though. It sounds like a good idea. I have the inside filled up, so ready. It's dry anyway. This is dry wood, but we'll be ready for when the weather turns cold and we come up. I got a tarp there I'm going to put on over top it. But here we go, all stacked up. Didn't take that long. Back doesn't feel that great, but didn't take that long to stack it up. Filled that the first one up all the way, another big row, and then a third of a row or so. So I would say we're definitely set for anything that Mother Nature can throw at us this year. Here we are on the other side. As you can see, that was only filled probably about a quarter or a third, and filled the rest of the way 2/3. You can see a little sweaty, so a shower might be in order. For our neighbor right to the right over here, I know you said you do some woodworking. There are some nice pieces of black walnut in there. Now I don't know if you do anything small, knife handles, things like that. There's some really nice pieces in here, and if you want to come over here and grab a couple of those, feel free. I'll get that tarp on there. We are supposed to have some severe weather coming in. And let me throw up this picture of the radar. And you can see that's something bad, and it's heading, I think, right this way. So I think I'm gonna get that shower, get some things in the car and everything like that, and then get onto some pork chops and kind of a repeat with the beans and salad. Well, that should do it. I put the tarp on the top. Hopefully we'll see if this storm, if it holds or blows off or not. It'll be a good test. But now it's time for a shower, real good shower. And ladies, if you like a copy of this, send a self-addressed stamped envelope and an SD card to P.O. Box, Dover, Delaware, and I'll send that right out to you. Well, that shower was excellent. Really makes you feel good, especially up here. For some reason, it just feels better than at home almost. Cooking up some pork chops right now. What do I put on there? A little Cajun seasoning, a little garlic salt, a little regular salt, and some cracked black pepper. And they're sizzling up now. As you can see, they're pretty thick, so they're going to take a little bit of time. The rest of the meal's the same beans as last night, the same salad. A little bit more cooking, and these will be done. I think maybe I'll check the radar again to see how close that storm is getting to me. Oh, they're about done, I think. Quick flip. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're about done. Maybe a couple more minutes on the side, one or two. They're looking pretty good. I'll grab these out of the grill, plate them up. Here's a good picture of it. Really looks good. Going to enjoy this, and then see how much time I have left before the storm hits. Just sit outside for a few minutes or just stay in the cabin. We'll see. So let's see what's in the old cooler today. Yeah, the Straub lager. Oh boy, I'll tell you. Pretty good lager, And I'm usually a Budweiser guy, which is a lager, but this certainly beats Bud, hands down, no questions. Heard some thunder a few minutes ago. Not sure how long I'm gonna get to stay out here, but I think I'm gonna start. It's a little bit nicer here And then the cabin's about 85. It's about 80 out here, so it's a little bit nicer. You get a little bit more nicer of a breeze out here. So when still it starts really coming down, I think I'm going to stay out here for a little bit. We'll see if anything appears down in the field or not. I saw these this morning about 6:30. These ones I've been catching on the camera about all summer long. The doe and 2 fawns, they must live close. I'm sure they bed down on the ridge down over here or up on that ridge over here, and they just spend a lot of time over in this field all summer long. Also saw this monstrous bear. I know it's not a great pick because it was a little bit far away from the camera, but that bear is big. That is a big bear, big bear. So I'm gonna sit back. I got a nub tonight, a short one, just because of the weather. Didn't want to sit out here, or don't think I'm gonna have the opportunity to sit out here for a long time. Enjoy that Straub, and gonna take off in the morning, but I'll catch you in the morning. I'm not gonna end it here. Gonna have a good evening, just relaxing. Maybe not gonna fire the generator up. Good not to run this trip. Maybe next time. So just gonna sit here out until it starts raining, thundering, crashing, lightning, and then I'll head in. But for now, it's beautiful out here right now, and catch you in the morning. Well, I started the video in the car. I figured I might as well end it in the car. Yeah, it did have the rain last night. It came in, but it didn't last as long, or wasn't as bad as kind of the weather bug said it was going to be. Just some rain. It was heavy for a little bit. I could barely hear myself in the cabin with that metal roof, but it did calm down after 20 minutes, and was a pretty nice evening. Just a nice quiet time without the generator. Just a nice relaxing evening, which I look forward to. I'm sure I'll be back to the cabin shortly. I know Mike said he wanted to get up maybe a couple times. We're talking about maybe getting up there for a little archery. Not myself personally, but a couple of the guys, Eric and possibly Mike, to do a little archery. So we could see that as long as it doesn't run the same days as Delaware muzzleloader runs. I will be back for that, and I can see the leaves turning on these trees up here already. So before you know it, we're going to be into deer camp and having a great time as always. Right now, I'm planning on staying for that full 10 days or so, like I did last year. I'm not sure if anybody's going to come up that first weekend. Mike talked about he may come up for Saturday, Sunday, just because you can hunt those days now. So he may come up. It's a possibility, but it'll be deer camp before you know it. So everybody have a good one, and I'll catch you next time.